Man, poor Cynthia. Poor, jealous, and envious Cynthia Bailey, baby. Let me tell you something. It has done disturbed and bothered Cynthia's spirits to the ends of this earth that Kenya is now becoming friends with some of these other ladies. And it just is hurting Cynthia Bailey down to the very core and the fabric of her existence. But you know what, though? We got to talk about it because this does provide some very interesting topics for discussion and commentary, and it really does create quite an interesting situation for Cynthia's future with the Real Housewives franchise moving forward. So we're going to talk about all that, but you know what, baby? If you were in that good chatterization today, let us know where you are watching from, okay? We want to know where our people are watching from. Skye Squad, we back in the building, baby. Big day. We talking Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 1, Episode 6. That means we only got 2 more episodes to go, okay? Next week, and then the week of the 16th, which is also going to be the date that the Real Housewives of Miami premieres with 3 episodes. So I don't even know how I'm going to get through the 16th, okay? And I got a whole lot going on that weekend, all right? So, listen, I see Nola is in the place to be, Mississippi, Houston. Arizona's in the building, baby. I see you. Arlington, Duluth, Olive Branch. At the gig, baby. At the gig. I ain't mad at it. Make that money. Don't let that money make you. Orlando, the Czech Republic, baby. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the Ponderosa. Why don't the people like Cynthia? Well, we're gonna talk about it. Key West, I see you. San Antonio, Dirty Jersey. Hey, Jersey. Bay Area, New Haven, I see you. St. Louis, Memphis. Yes, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. So let's go ahead and get on down to it while this sun decides it wants to shine on bright into the room. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. I'm trying to use some natural lighting to take some of the stress off my eyes from these studio lights that I have up in here. So I got my ring light off to the side over here, and I got the blinds are open over here. So it might be some altering of the lighting situation, but this is just so much more helpful for my eyes, given how much time I spend in front of the computer and given how much time we talk, just to give you guys an understanding of what's going on in the studioization or whatever. And I have fallen in love with this black background, so we're going to stay with this for a while, and I actually might paint that blue wall that's actually behind, that's on the other side that you guys can't see. I might paint that black too. I just like the feeling of it. So anyway, enough about me, because y'all ain't come for that. We're going to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I know that sometimes I may seem like the Paula Judge with regards to how I rate these episodes, because I am kind of lenient. But that just gives you guys an understanding of how much I enjoy these shows. And I feel like Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is hidden, okay? It's hidden in a way that sometimes the rest of these franchises don't necessarily do no more, okay? Because we have familiar faces in unfamiliar situations, which is causing for some really unique and dynamic drama. And for a character like Cynthia Bailey, who is usually relegated to a specific role on a show, she has a completely different role on this show. And she is upset and befuddled and confused at how her girlfriend, Kenya Moore, is treating her and getting along with the rest of these ladies, because as she states, Kenya ain't really got no friends on her show. So it's just an odd dynamic because she's not used to having to fight for Kenya's attention. And in my mind, I'm kind of wondering, like, well, girl, why did you need that much attention from her anyway? I mean, this is an opportunity for you to really bond with some of these other ladies. It's not supposed to be a you and Kenya against the world type situation. Kenya is there to make a TV show, and Kenya is going to do just that. That is why Kenya is hired. Kenya knows her role, and Cynthia, unfortunately, seems to be unable to accept that, you know, there's a distinction for Kenya between, girl, you my friend off screen, but on this screen right here, I got to make TV because I got to keep getting paid and I got to keep being asked back. But interestingly enough, that while Kenya is doing that, it's really shining a light on Cynthia's own insecurities, but it's making her that much more interesting. or uninteresting, according to Kyle. But we're gonna get into that. I like seeing these dynamics play out because we also get the dynamic between Ramona and Luann, which also would make for some very interesting TV should we go back into the next season of the Real Housewives of New York, whether or not the two of them come back or not. And it would have really been interesting to see what would have happened between Kenya and Cynthia after this if Cynthia had stayed on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for another season. And I know I have been a proponent of, Cynthia's time is up. She should go off into the sunset with her man and do something fun and fabulous on the West Coast. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Cynthia, you's a lot more interested now that you not all up Kenya's behind. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Cynthia standing alone, similar to how I feel like Robin standing alone, is much more interesting and fascinating than when she is up into the crevices of Kenya's behind. Okay? Now, I've said all that. Let's get into the episode. Now, it's the start of a new day. Okay, we know we only got about 7 to 8 days there on the island of Turks and Caicos. It's really making me want to go, to be quite honest with you. And side note, oh my God, I got a very nice message from somebody in South Africa yesterday that really was just so touching. Because y'all know I was supposed to be in South Africa for New Year's. And so given everything that's going on, it don't look like that's going to happen. So I'm trying to figure out where else I'm going to go. So Turks and Caicos, to me, is looking real nice on this TV screen right about now. But anyway, Ramona is vowing today that she is going to keep her mouth shut. All right? She's not trying to get in no trouble. Teresa goes in to check on her and give her some type of merch. Now, what Teresa got going on is some type of Fabletics looking sportswear attire for women's. You know what I'm saying? Where you can put your bra top on and you can put your spandex on. That's the type of merchandise I feel like it is. I didn't see her, advertising it on the Instagram or whatnot. So it looks real good. I don't blame you for trying to get your merch on the show, Teresa. I mean, go ahead and do the doggone thing. Teresa reasons that Ramona is just lonely, and that's why she's taking things out on everybody. Michael shows up. Michael is the married concierge that Luann was humping on, to review the itinerary for the day. Now, we learned that it's activities at the beach, and it's John. Now, John, who you guys may recall from a couple of episodes back, is the man that has a restaurant on the island of Turks and Caicos. He's also an eligible bachelor in Ramona's eyes, and Ramona got her eyes set on him. But it's too bad for Ramona because these girls about to set her up. So Kyle and Melissa are sitting in the confessional, the in-house confessional, kind of like how they used to do on MTV. On MTV Real World, when the people would go into the room and they would do a little confessional, but they not dressed up and all fabulous and whatnot. It's kind of like a real time, like I think they used to call it an ITM. And that's like an in the moment confessional. No, that's not really an ITM, because I think an ITM is kind of like when you're on the scene and you do a confessional versus sitting down in a specific shot. So just a little technical jargon there for you guys. Kyle and Melissa doing their coffee talk, and they recap how when Melissa is wined up, like when she on the wine, she says that she is as shady as Kenya Moore. Now, I ain't seen it yet, but I mean, that's what she said. But more importantly, Melissa and Kyle feel like Cynthia was reaching last night with that conversation about how Ramona made her late because Ramona was refusing to pay that makeup artist. Now, maybe this is a cultural thing, and I really don't know. Maybe it's because I don't necessarily know that, when Kyle when Kyle travels on her girls' trips, typically on Beverly Hills, she does not take hair and makeup with her. I don't believe that Melissa does that either, but I'm not sure. So I think it's a cultural thing. It's a little bit different because the ladies from Atlanta, they will typically have hair and makeup people there to kind of do a little bit of a sisterization to assist them with their looks for the night or whatever, with their glam. You know what I'm saying? And it will also include, the application of eyelashes and such that will make them even more glamorous and over the top when they appear on screen, right? I'm not mad at it. I just think it's a difference of understanding why that situation was so important. It's important to Cynthia because she's wanting to go in looking her best. It may not be important to Kyle and Melissa because they're really not used to that. But Erica Jane on their show and Dorit on Beverly Hills do travel with glam. And so for Kyle on that show, it's also usually an issue because she doesn't ever understand why the two of them need glam, specifically Dorit, because it will often make Dorit late. So again, this is why you kind of got to get into the nooks and the crannies of these shows to really understand why a certain character may feel a certain type of way about something. So that's why I believe that Kyle is looking at this like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But for some people, it is. Okay. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And to add to insult to injury, it is definitely a big deal because what's not being stated or what's not really being focused on is the fact that Ramona is not trying to pay this makeup artist. That's a part that everybody seems to be skipping over. That's rude. It's disrespectful to the people that work in the industry that you will actually have a service being done to you, but then refuse to pay them. That's insane to me. So I feel like that they are dismissing Cynthia's feelings and they're dismissing the fact that Ramona was not trying to pay somebody for a service that she did get. Okay. So anyway, thank you for that super chat. Brand new TJ says, not real fan of Ramona. However, Ramona is carrying the show. It wouldn't be as good without her. She keeps me laughing and the drama coming. I mean, this is true. This is what Ramona does. But you know, the problem with this is, and you are correct, she is definitely bringing the drama. But the problem with her is, and what happens to a lot of dramatic characters sometimes is they operate from a slippery slope. And that slope sometimes takes them into territory where their actions become problematic. You know what I'm saying? They haven't become as problematic here as they have been on her show, but I can definitely see where you're coming from with that, brand new TJ. I can definitely see it. So anyway, Kenya, after that conversation with Kyle and Melissa, we learned that Mauricio, who is Kyle's husband, is on his way, I guess he's on the island because he had to come there. In case you don't know, Kyle's husband, Mauricio, has one of the largest real estate agencies like out there, right? And it's called The Agency. Now, little known fact about The Agency, apparently, allegedly, a little bit of tea for y'all, back in the day when the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills first started, again, I say allegedly, there was some beef between Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump that went unspoken on the show. And what that beef was that Lisa Vanderpump and both Kyle's husband were angling to get reality TV show spinoffs. So it was Lisa Vanderpump with Vanderpump Rules that actually got the spinoff, and Kyle's allegedly, this happened again, I state that. Allegedly, it was Kyle's The Agency, which did not get the spinoff. So there was a little bit of tension that was there because of that. Now, flash forward now, The Agency has grown to the place where it is, and the listing for the house that the ladies are staying in is actually under Mauricio's company, The Agency. Okay, so a little bit of background there for those of you guys who may not follow Beverly Hills. A lot of this is tying together in a lot of different ways, and I just find it fascinating. But I wonder how the rest of the ladies are going to feel when Kyle decides that she's not going to spend the night at the villa and she's going to spend the night with her man. I wonder how that's going to play out next week, if at all. But we'll just have to wait and see. Kenya recaps her altercation with somebody on her phone. I'm assuming maybe it's Lori or it ain't Aunt Lori because I don't know if they're talking. Maybe it's her cousin. I don't know who it is. Luann comes, and then they head down to breakfast. Luann comes down. Kenya has, Luann realizes how much of Ramona's behavior she's let pass over the years, and she vows to stop letting her get away with things anymore. Now, this is definitely a change of behavior from last night, because the last night, she was basically kind of going off on Teresa for calling her a pushover, but Teresa was right. Luann has been letting Ramona do this to her for years. So anyway, it's amazing what a good night's sleep will do. But anyway, Cynthia is lounging poolside and feeling like she's on her own little island. But today she is vowing to change the energy. She's over there, doing some mindfulness, some meditations, just sitting there looking alone and despondent. And Ramona comes down to terrorize the staff. And then she does go outside to apologize to Cynthia for making her late. Ramona says she cares about Cynthia, and Cynthia is just tired, baby. She is just tired and she ready to go. But they do decide to hug and reset their energy. Now, Teresa and Melissa join Luann and Kenya, but then Kenya has to dip out for a phone call. But they realize that Ramona is just lonely and has nothing to do at home. And I wrote in my notes, that's the story I would like to explore. And just walk with me down this road for a second. Oftentimes in the past, when we look at shows, we can look at, not so much 227, for those of you guys who remember, but maybe more or less something along the lines of girlfriends, girlfriends to an extent, living single, Sex in the City, Golden Girls, where we have women in various stages of their lives dealing with being single, dealing with relationships and that sort of thing. I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe touch on what is it that's happening with Ramona that is causing her to lash out at everyone and behave the way that she does. One storyline that we've never actually seen on The Real Housewives of New York City is Ramona sitting down and going to therapy. And I definitely think that she needs some therapy to understand the root cause of her sometimes narcissistic, borderline, I would say, and then problematic behavior. She needs that time to really sit down and really hash that out with someone on a very deep level. She does. Patricia Allen says, DJ Richie, did you see Cynthia Bailey? Hi, Kenya Moore is on Games People Play, and Kenya plays the girlfriend to Leon Robinson. I didn't see that. Didn't see it. Thank you for letting me know that, though. Patricia! Thank you, boo. Anyway, the ladies head out for their beach day, right? And they have to play kind of musical chairs getting into the vans again because neither Kenya nor Luann want to ride with Ramona. So Kenya asked Luann if she, now this is very interesting to me. And it might have just been interesting to only me. I don't know. But there's a conversation between Kenya and Luann about whether or not Luann is doing her cameos. For those of you guys that don't know, Cameo is an app where you can request that someone send you a shout out or something like that, or wish someone a happy birthday. I have a Cameo that I don't use, but I'm gonna use it now, okay? Because Luann says that she charges $125 for a shout out on the Cameo. Now, just that day alone, Luann had to do 30 cameos. That means she had to do it like 30 shout outs to 30 people or whatever. Now, you can arrange a cameo for somebody for yourself, or you can arrange it for somebody else, right? Again, they had hit me up a while ago. I'm on there, but I don't use that thing. I am now. Luann, if she's charging $125 for cameos and she got to do 30, to do the math, she is making $3,750 a day. Now, if I take that $3,750 a day. Let's say she's doing that 30 days a month. Okay, times 30. She is making, hold on, let me do my math again. Times 30. This girl is making about $112,000 a month from cameos. OnlyFans, who? I don't know nobody need no OnlyFans. Get your butt on Cameo, okay? I don't care. Listen, somebody, I'm telling y'all this too. Get on Cameo. Somebody out there know you and want you to give them a shout out, okay? Get on it and make some money. I mean, ain't no shame in the game. Ain't no shame in the game. I said, you know what? I've I've been missing out. Okay, I've been missing out. Luann, you better get your coin. Anyway, so Cynthia winds up in the car with, now this is the interesting thing right here. Cynthia winds up in the car with Ramona, Kyle, and Melissa. Everybody that she been arguing with, except for Kenya. So Melissa, like myself, is off on the side, just basically trying to hold on, okay? Trying to just hold on because she got the allergies. Now, as somebody who also has allergies, I know it's been plenty of days when I just been sitting there in a fog, just trying to make it through because I done had to Benadryl myself up. Okay, one Benadryl, one out like it, and then another one 4 hours later, because I'm just trying not to sneeze, and I'm not trying to be sitting around with the itchy eyes and the itchy throat. So you got to Benadryl yourself up, and you barely be awake. People can be talking to you. You don't know what's going on. I have spent many days in a fog because of my allergies, and it's just the worst. So I felt you, Melissa, on that. Anyway, she about to be out until her ears perk up when Cynthia starts talking. Cynthia apologizes for her energy, and she really wants to figure out how to reset things with Kyle. Now, at this point is when she admits that she is jealous that Kyle and Cynthia and Kenya have hit it off. Okay? Now, I don't know whether to roll my eyes at Cynthia or whether to commend her for being honest. And I have to do a little bit of both. I got to roll my eyes, side eye her, but I also got to give her props because anybody that can admit that you are jealous at the age of 50-something years old, that your girlfriend from your old job is hanging out with some new girls on vacation. What? That just came out of nowhere for me. It came out of nowhere. Miss D Green says, you've had an epiphany. It's similar to Super Chat. We like our comments highlighted. You make some money, boo. Okay. I'm on it today. I'm on it today, baby. Thank you so much for that, Miss D Green. Appreciate you. But so Cynthia is admitting to her jealousy of Kyle and Kenya's friendship. But here's where things get even crazier, okay? This is where they get crazier. She tells Kyle that she loves her and wants to leave the island on a better note. Kyle is very much like, oh, well, you know what? You know, it's very big of you to admit that you're jealous, okay? I mean, again, side eye and an eye roll. But Kyle is ready to move forward. But it's in her confessional where she tells how she really feels. She says, you know, I'm ready to move forward. But do I think that Cynthia and I will be great friends? Probably not. She's just not that fun. Cynthia, girl, what is going on? Poor Cynthia. Lord have mercy. Poor Cynthia. Now, if you thought that was bad, it's about to get worse, okay? It's about to get worse. Kyle don't even think that Cynthia is fun to be around. So she was like, I know we're not going to be good friends. I was screaming, okay? Then Melissa, I knew it was going to come. Hey, messy Melissa. Melissa reveals that Kenya told her that Cynthia is mad or jealous that she and that Kenya and Melissa were getting close. Now, at this point, Cynthia says, well, I hadn't really thought about you, but it was Kyle that I was thinking about. Now, Cynthia, girl, I ain't gonna call you liar. I ain't gonna say that. But I feel like that was false, okay? I feel like that was false. How many times in these past 6 episodes have we seen Cynthia cut her eyes at Melissa and Kenya every time they hanging out with each other and having their little bonding girlfriend moments? At the end of the day, I feel like, Cynthia, you should just state that you're jealous of everybody's relationship with Kenya since she's been on the trip. You thought that y'all was going to be bosom buddies. So to try to make it seem like it was just Kyle and not Melissa, who we have not really even, while I understand that Kyle and Kenya have been close, it don't seem like it's been halfway as close as Kenya and Melissa. So when she said that and she was trying to make it seem like Melissa was a non-MFing factor, I was kind of like, now, Cynthia, rewind the tape, please. Rewind the tape. Because there was even comments that Cynthia had made, like, oh, I think when Kenya asked her to take a picture of her, and Cynthia was like, oh, you don't want Melissa to do it or something like that. So I'm like, Cynthia, girl, let's be real about it. Okay. You probably jealous of all those relationships with Kenya at this point. Because you didn't go into this situation thinking that Kenya was gonna make any type of friends. Because as you stated, Kenya don't have no friends on your show. Bottom line. All right. Bottom line. So in my mind, I'm like, Cynthia, you might as well go ahead and tell the truth. Now, Cynthia tells Melissa that they haven't spent any one-on-one time together. And Melissa says that once Kenya told her that Cynthia was jealous, that she just kind of pulled away to avoid the drama. But they decide to try to reconnect. But Kyle is in the back like, that ain't gonna happen. That's sip and shell. We got two more days on this trip. They're not gonna bond. She probably right. And I wrote in my notes again, poor Cynthia. Poor Cynthia Bailey. Anyway, they get to the beach, and Ramona wants to chat with Luann at some point. Michael, the concierge who is married that Luann was previously humping on, and I will forever refer to him as that, okay? Is taking photos of him, and he getting real into it, and everybody giving their best sexy pose and whatnot, except for Ramona. Ramona, Lord have mercy, she is trying her best to be sexy, but it is just not coming as naturally as it is for like Kenya and Melissa, okay? Kenya and Melissa know how to turn it on, and even Luann. But Ramona, oh Lord, poor Ramona. I mean, granted, Ramona, to be, the age that she is a very, she's a very active woman. You know what I'm saying? But she just don't have that sexy type of appeal that the rest of the ladies got, Anyway, then it's time to inflate this inflatable ball. Luann gets in. Ramona goes paddleboarding. Cynthia chats with Luann and tries to figure out why she is so upset with everybody. And she realizes that she's just really upset with Kenya for all the things that have happened between them on the trip. And there's one day left, and she doesn't know where their friendship stands and doesn't know if it will ever be the same. Now, Bruce says this, Nene warned Cynthia about Kenya, and like Portia said the other day, their friendship was bound to collapse outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it's interesting that is exactly what is happening. So, I wrote in my notes this little note right here. I said, here's where I realized that Bravo and Peacock have a unique opportunity to explore different relationships in different contexts. Like for me, it would have been interesting, and I stated before, to see Cynthia go back to Atlanta after watching her and Kenya on this trip, because I definitely think that had Cynthia come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, we would have seen a different dynamic between the two of them, especially given that there's no mutual enemy like a Portia for them to do battle against, okay? Even though Cynthia has never really kind of battled Portia like that, except for when she kicked her to try to get her off of her, you can usually tell that Cynthia takes Kenya's side in their arguments because that's her girl. JMW says, it seems like Cynthia was only Kenya's friend on Real Housewives of Atlanta due to her not having any friends. Sympathy friend, fake it. It's truth what Portia said on Watch What Happens Live. Thank you so much for that, JMW. And what's also the other thing that I wrote down in my notes was that it'll be interesting to see how Luann and Ramona progress if they both make it back to Real Housewives of New York, which we know is taking a pause because they need to figure out how they're going to reboot it, okay, after the problematic season that they had. Anyway, I also wrote that it would have been especially interesting if they had brought Kim Richards, who is Kyle's sister, along on this trip, because it would have been real interesting to see Kim Richards in the mix in all this. Because low-key, back in the day, when I first started watching Housewives, I used to get Kim Richards and Ramona Singer mixed up all the time. I did. I confess, I did. I just felt like they looked alike. Anyway, I digress. While Ramona is paddleboarding, Kenya and Luann knock her off her paddleboard while they're kayaking. And this is going to be the first of Luann and Kenya terrorizing Ramona for the rest of the day. When they get back to the table to eat on the beach, Kenya is making up songs at the table about Melissa looking so good or whatever, and you can see Cynthia off to the side, you know, pretty much giving them the green eyes with envy, because yet again you see Melissa and Kenya bonding, but yet Kenya claims that she was only jealous of Kyle and Kenya. Girl, stop it. Anyway, Luann and Ramona decide to move off to the side to talk. And we go back and we get a flashback of all the ways that Ramona has done Luann dirty over the years. And for Luann, she doesn't really understand why Ramona has always treated her so poorly over the years. And honestly, Luann, is because you let her to a certain degree. Anyway, and she feels like she's been giving Ramona passes, and she wants Ramona to change. She does not want an apology, because that's what Ramona is good for, apologizing, but yet still continuing to do the same thing. So at the end of the day, what she says is this, okay? Listen, you need to change, and you've been drinking too much, okay? And how do I know you've been drinking too much? Because I used to drink that much, okay? And look what happened to me. So what you need to do is you need to get yourself together, okay? If you want a friendship with me, you're gonna have to make some changes. So they do hug it out. Luann doesn't want to throw the baby away with the bathwater, which I don't know why somebody came up with that phrase, because I feel like throwing a baby away is kind of harsh. Anyway, they go back to the table to recap their conversation, and everybody is looking at Ramona with a side eye because she keeps vowing to change. Don't nobody believe it. Kyle lets the ladies know that Mauricio was coming to the dinner for tonight. Anyway, as the ladies are getting ready, Ramona is putting these jewels on her face, okay? And what she does is she wants everybody to get into the spirit of things and put the jewelry on their face too. Melissa is like, girl, I'm not putting this on me. Kenya's looking like, I'm not putting this thing on me. But you know, Cynthia, who is at this point in time, she is just trying to make her the peace with everybody. She slaps them jewels on her face along with Luann, and they decide to, you know, go in and be, you know, as positive as they can. But you can still see that Cynthia is still seething with jealousy over everybody else's relationships. Poor Cynthia. When you see how they edit this show, and you see her always, you can see everybody else bonding, but yet you will always see Cynthia off to the side, looking at everybody, like giving them the stink eye, because she's not getting along with everybody like that. Anyway, they get to the venue, and it's John's house. Now, John is Ramona's crush, who also owns the conch shack that they were at earlier when they first got to the island. He's hosting a dinner, and Ramona is handing out face crystals to everybody at the party. And I'm like, girl, if you don't let it go, Elsa. Nobody wants to wear these things. But sure enough, somebody does end up with them face jewels on their face. And I'm like, wow. Anyway, Luann then assesses that John is just not into Ramona as Ramona is into him, because Ramona is like on the prowl. This is her man. She knows she got him in the bag, and she's going to get herself some of John, okay? She's going to get some of that man, all right? Mauricio arrives, and that's Kyle's husband, for those who don't know. And they head down to dinner at John's private beach, where everyone has their seats are set for them. And Ramona is ordering for John like she is his wife. And then everybody is chatting and having conversations, but again, while Cynthia is all alone, looking despondent and on her phone. So they get to asking John questions about what kind of woman he's looking for. And here is what Kenya gets messy. Okay. He says he's looking for somebody intelligent, you know, somebody who is on his level. And then Kenya says, well, my girlfriend Luann right here is intelligent, knowing good and well that Ramona wants this man for herself. Okay. And John is sitting there looking like, oh. And then he pivots the conversation to try to get the attention off of him. And he says, well, you know, hanging with you guys has been really nice. It has not been as much drama as I was expecting. And then Kenya says, well, you should have seen what happened earlier. Ramona cursed me out. And then Ramona wanted to, we heard that Ramona was trying to blackmail Luann. Basically, she is doing all of this to get under Ramona's skin and turn this man against her because she just don't like Ramona at this point. She's just done. And so she's doing everything in her power to work Ramona's nerves. And at this point, I'm like, oh, girl, you just terrorizing this lady. And Ramona is trying not to have it, okay? JMW says 50 Cent to turn into a Ja Rule. It's a mess, right? So everybody is literally at the table gagging because they cannot believe what they are watching Kenya do to Ramona. Kenya then relays that Ramona tried to curse her out and then, was fake crying and whatnot. And as they're reliving the argument, Ramona is embarrassed. Luann, though, is laughing along with Kenya. She just cannot get enough of this situation. So then Kenya plans with Luann to go flirt with John to get under Ramona's skin even further. Luann decides that she's not going to wait for the end of the night to do that. She is going to do it right now. So she slides up on John, puts her hand on his shoulder and whatnot, and starts talking to him. And, all kind of sexy and whatnot. Meanwhile, Melissa and Kenya are off to the side giggling about it. But Ramona tries to break up the scene because she's sitting right beside John on the other side of him. And she's like, John, I need to go to the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? And then when she gets up, she's like, Luann, where's the bathroom? I can't find the bathroom. Hoping to break up the conversation between John and Luann. But Luann does not flinch at all. And she is like all up in this man's face like white on rice, okay? Because Luann, I believe, even though Kenya was joking about flirting with John, Luann is halfway single because we know she claims she was in a relationship with the man, but they kind of open or whatever, which is why she was straddling Michael, who is married earlier on in an earlier episode, and taking the shots out of his mouth and dry humping on him. Okay, so Luann is on the prowl right now. Okay, she back to her old tricks. And so Ramona is off to the side, wandering around the beach, trying to find out where the bathroom is. And Kenya and Kyle have to get up because they're getting up from the table because they realize that Kenya is just being mean to Ramona and they can't take it. They are over Kenya and her antics for tonight. And then Ramona walks up to them and they tell her, girl, we feel bad for you because we know that you wanted that man and we see what Kenya is doing to you. And we just feel so bad for you. And Ramona's like, yeah, she just terrorizing me. She just got it out for me. She is trying to destroy me. And I'm just not going to let her. I'm just not going to let her. Okay. Anyway, the situation does feel kind of cringy because you can see what Kenya is trying to do. And I get that Kenya is fed up with Ramona, but at the end of the day, for the rest of the ladies, they view Ramona as just a lonely soul who is going to have to go back to nothing when she goes back to New York. So, but for Kenya is looking at her like, no, you called me a B. You tried to curse me out. So now you are going to feel the full wrath of what a Kenya Moore on a Real Housewives show can do. Okay. You're going to get all of this smoke right here today, Ramona Singer. But at the end of the day, Kyle is playing the role that Kyle always plays. Kyle is telling Ramona, no, you guys must have a conversation about this. You must have a ponderosa because clearly Kenya has unresolved feelings about the way you two have interacted earlier. That is why she is doing all this. Ramona, you need to sit down and have a ponderosa with her. Kyle, knowing full well that is not going to go well at all. And that is how Kyle tends to orchestrate the drama on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from off to the side. No, y'all got to have a conversation about it. You got to resolve it, knowing good and well the two people involved are still so steaming hot with each other that ain't nothing going to be resolved at that moment. Okay? Nothing at all. But I'll tell you what, it works because that's how the drama always continues on. And Kyle knows exactly what buttons to push from the side. Kyle is in the control room like, oh, I see drama. Hi, I hate drama. But as soon as it happens, she's in the middle of it like, ooh, can y'all talk about it some more? Because I don't feel like y'all resolved anything. Okay, keep yelling at each other. I'm sure you'll get there soon. And then she'll be off to the side acting surprised. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's happening? Why is that happening? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Mouth wide open in every scene, like she did not know what was about to occur. But I love Kyle. I love Kyle because that's what she does. If you ain't noticed the pattern, you know now. Watch next season of Real Housewives of Beverly. Actually, you ain't got to wait for next season. Go back and watch this past season. You will see it in every argument that Sutton got into. It was usually because Kyle was pushing her and pushing her and pushing her to try to talk to somebody who did not want to talk to her to resolve an issue that was not going to be resolved right then and there. Trust and believe when what I tell you. If you ain't noticed the pattern, you know it now. But I do love Kyle, okay? For that very reason. Anyway, it's Housewives After Dark time. And that's, when the credits gonna start to roll. And then it's time to head out. Luann, but Luann is not done with John, okay? Luann is not done with John. She is taking this role seriously. And what was supposed to be a joke, I told y'all Luann was about to, Luann is on the prowl with her open relationship. And she is like, John, why don't you give me your number? Actually, you take mine, but text me. Because if you don't tell them to text you, you'll never have a number. Because this is what you do. When you're trying to get somebody's number, or when you're trying to, make a connection with somebody, you should always get their number. But if you don't, okay, what you got to do is you got to give them your number. And you got to tell them to text you right now, right then and there, so that you will have their number. So, when you want to stalk them because they ain't called you yet, you got their number in order to do so. Okay. So Luann is smart. She know exactly what she's doing, talking all close to his face and whatnot. She talking to him right here in the neck area. You know what I'm saying? Right here in the neck area. So I'm sure he can smell the tequila on her breath and the white diamonds on her neck. So that's what you got to do. That's how you flirt. And that's how you get your prize right there. You got to know what to do. Sir Capricorn says, but LVP was the puppet master. Kyle is unmasked now. Now, I believe LVP was still behind the scenes. Girl, Lisa Rinna, I think you might want to talk about this Munchausen on the screen. And Lisa Rinna like, well, Munchausen is this. And so then she gets caught up in the drama. And I don't understand how they let this lady tell them what to do. But anyway, I digress because I can go down a rabbit hole with that. Thank you for that super chat. So it's Housewives After Dark. Luann is up on this man like green on a turnip, and she is trying to get his. She's trying. I'm telling you, I believe when the lights go down, in my mind, she probably went back over there to that man's house. But I'm just speculating. That's my opinion. It's not fact. I can't tell you that, but I'm just trying to tell you that in my mind, that's how it went down. Okay, trust. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Luann and the way she work on these trips, go back and watch a couple of seasons of Real Housewives in New York. Just go back and watch the trip episodes, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, as they're heading out, we learned that Kyle is like, I'm not going with y'all back to this house. My man is here. I'm about to go spend some time with him and open these legs, baby. And so she's going back with him. But again, I wonder in my mind, is that going to cause an issue for the other ladies when she doesn't come back to the house? I don't know why. I feel like that's just one of those types of issues that may cause a problem. Okay. But I don't really know. Because it's a girl's trip. It's not bring your man trip. So some people have real issues with that. They really do. You see it happen all the time on these type of shows. Trust and tell me. I'm trying to tell you something. So anyway, y'all, that's the review for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Season 1, Episode 6. It was another doozy, hot mess of an episode. And honestly, I am just ready for the next season. I mean, I'm ready for Ex-Wives at the Berkshires with Dorinda and Phaedra and Eva and Brandy and Vicky and Tamara and Taylor and Jill. I am ready for it now. And I better not have to wait until April to get it. Or summer, okay? That's what I do know. Now, mind you, while I got y'all in this room, make sure y'all come back at 4 p.m. because we're going to have a little Ponderosa with Carlos King. And when we say Ponderosa, I'm going to be asking some questions about this here Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion that's coming up this Saturday night at 9 p.m. on the OWN TV. So shout out to OWN TV, Kingdom Reign Entertainment, and Carlos King and his team for allowing me to ask the questions that we all want to know, because of course I still want to know why Destiny able to be on the show but not really actually show any bit of her life and her divorce. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. And the good thing about this situation is I know Carlos is a good sport, so he gonna come with some answers. I know he is. He gonna come with some answers. He's a good interview. Always. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna get into some things. The Hicks world, God was holding Ramona like she was in danger. Oh, she was. Look at her. Kenya was gonna throw her off of that boat, baby. She was gonna throw her off of that boat. Let me get myself together, y'all. I got some stuff to do before I come back for this interview. That's all we got for y'all today. Y'all know that I love y'all. We have a good time on this channel, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Just join the fam. Yeah, I mean, when we get together, we have ourselves a good old time. And it's just a nice little way for us to connect throughout the day with people who love to talk about reality TV shows, have fun with these shows. And maybe if you didn't watch the show, you'll get a little bit more information on maybe why you should watch the show. And maybe you might be encouraged to go watch it and check it out for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, y'all, again, I will be back here at 4 p.m. Give us a little bit of time to just test everything and make sure that it's working. So it could be like between 4:05 and 4:10. But we will definitely be getting into some things. If for some reason there is any type of issue or whatever that we have, I will let you guys know, and we'll move it over to our Instagram, and we'll do it via Instagram Live. But I see no reason why we won't be able to do it via StreamYard. So with that being said, I will catch you guys a little bit later on today. All right.